YouTube. As we conclude African American History Month, I like to bring up about 10 little known facts that maybe some people may not know about African Americans, the contributions that we have made in America that really has affected the world. I hope you enjoy it. Hope you like it. Here we go. Did you know black cowboys were on the frontier? Did you know that of the estimated 35,000 cowboys who worked ranches and rode trails on the American western frontier, 5,000 to 9,000 or more were black? They participated in the drives northward and could hold any ranching position except that of trail boss. That's right. They were black cowboys that were also lawmen and outlaws as well. And a few of them I've spoke about, and one particular was Bass Reeves. And you can look him up and find out a little bit more about him. The Lone Ranger was based off of the work that he did. But that's just one. There were many. Astronaut and trailblazer. Did you know that in 1967, Robert Lawrence Jr. became the first African American to be trained as an astronaut? Unfortunately, he died in a plane crash during flight training before he could be sent on his first space mission. 16 years later, Gideon Bluford carried on Lawrence's legacy by becoming the first African American in space. The first Chicago resident. Did you know that Jean-Baptiste Point de Sable, a black man living in the 1700s, is considered by historians to be the first permanent resident of Chicago? He is recorded as living in Chicago as early as 1790, but he is believed to have settled there earlier. Today, the city boasts a school, a museum, a harbor, and a park, and a bridge named in his honor. More than a peanut connoisseur. Did you know that George Washington Carver is responsible for inventing 118 products made with sweet potatoes? He also created 17 products with pecans. Carver is better known as the inventor of peanut butter and 300 peanut products. He was a well-known, respected college professor and a botanist. He also worked with 3 U.S. presidents. Serious presidential candidate. Did you know that Shirley Chisholm was the first black woman to be elected to Congress and the first black major party presidential candidate? Well before President Barack Obama became a politician, this Democratic candidate survived 3 assassination attempts during her 1972 campaign. Inventor of dry cleaning. Did you know that Thomas L. Jennings, the inventor credited for inventing the dry cleaning process, was also the first African American to hold a U.S. patent? The patent was issued in 1821. Jennings, who was a free man living in New York City, is also credited for his work as an early abolitionist and his leadership in the NAACP. The Exodusters settled in Kansas. Exo means they left the South and went to the Dust Bowl, which was Kansas. Did you know that the Exodusters are credited for integrating the West? The Exodusters is a nickname for a group of blacks who fled the South and settled in Kansas for freedom and jobs. This group of grave former slaves is rarely mentioned compared to those in the Great Migration to the North and Northeast. But the Exodusters actually fled the South much earlier, between 1879 and 1880. This migration brought more than 30,000 blacks to the state of Kansas by the late 1800s. Helped end segregation in the Army. Did you know that Joe Louis is more than a heavyweight boxing champion? He is credited for helping to end segregation in the U.S. Armed Forces while serving in the Army during World War II. He fought a charity bout that raised $47,000 for the Naval Relief Society in 1942. That was a lot of money for 1942. And he volunteered to enlist in the military the next day. After completing his training in an all-black unit, he served in the Special Services Division until 1945. And then he went back to his day job, which was knocking folks out. The holder of 61 patents. Did you know Frederick Jones invented the ticket dispensing machine in 1943? This invention revolutionized the transportation and entertainment industries. The Ohio inventor is credited for 61 patents, including the portable X-ray machine, the portable refrigeration unit, and the two-cycle gasoline engine. States that led the way for abolition. Did you know that Vermont was the first U.S. territory to abolish slavery in 1777? Vermont, the 14th state, didn't actually become a state until 1791. So Pennsylvania, the second to become a state, is credited as the first state to abolish slavery in 1780. There are so many interesting things we can learn about the contributions of African Americans to our society and the world. We can all learn more and share more about these important contributions every day. And like I said, and not just in February, African American History Month is really African American history, it's really America's history. We contributed not only to the United States, but it affected the world. I hope you like these things which I brought up about African Americans, about our people. Check them out yourself. I hope you enjoyed it. And also, I want to thank you for your comments and all the accolades which you've given me. I really appreciate it. I want to thank you, and I'll see you the next time. Take care. Love you, YouTube. Bye now.